we're in this cave with this mean Cyclops in Homer's The Odyssey, and well, you kind of know how it plays out. If you know the story, you know, or if you read it, or if you want to read it again, what happens is they get the Cyclops drunk. He passes out. While he's sleeping, they take a big ember and put it in the fire and poke it in his eye and blind him. Pretty nasty, but you know, you got to do with Cyclops what you got to do. The descriptions of all of this is gory and delicious. It's like, you know, a tale that would scare a kid by the fire. It would be so fun hearing this as a little boy, as a little girl around the campfire or at the edges of the party where the parents are being entertained. It was delicious to hear the pride and arrogance and the articulate clarity with which Odysseus spells out the rules. When guests come, the gods say, we give them gifts, we treat them well. This is a fundamental hospitality, a rule of Greek culture. And so these rules, these customs, good manners are being taught as this story is being told. And if it's the only story that you hear again and again, you have learned your manners to emulate the heroes and heroines that are in these stories. Now, what happens is the Cyclops is mad and screams and hollers, and after he wakes up, we have a little confrontation again between our hero Odysseus and the Cyclops. I approached my host with a cordial winning word. So you asked me the name I'm known by, Cyclops? I'll tell you, but you must give me a guest gift as you've promised. Nobody, that's my name, nobody. So my mother and father call me all my friends. And he boomed back from his ruthless heart. Nobody, I'll eat nobody, last of all his friends. I'll eat the others first. That's my gift to you. So here we have a great example of Odyssean trickery. He, rather than the truth, he proposes an alias. And so what happens is Polyphemus goes out of the cave screaming, raging to all his friends. What happened to you? You won't believe it. There's strangers. Someone's blinded me. What's the matter? What's the matter? His friends, the other giants, ask. What, Polyphemus? What in the world's the trouble roaring out in the God-sent night to rob us of our sleep? Surely no one's rustling your flocks against your will. Surely no one's trying to kill you now by fraud or force. Nobody, friends, Polyphemus bellowed back from his cage. Nobody's killing me now by fraud and not by force. His friends go, if you're alone and nobody's trying to overpower you, it must be a plague sent by Zeus, and there's no escape from that. You'd better go pray to your father Poseidon. So, because of Odysseus's deceit, dumb Polyphemus, the dumb Cyclops, screams to his friends that, quote, nobody did this to me. And while this is going on, gives Odysseus and his colleagues the wonderful chance to escape the cave, get back on the ship. So there we have this wonderful example of violence and fear and ugliness and wily strategy that gets brute force conquered by strategy and tactics. You know, one of the great plays of the entire Homeric corpus, the whole body of Homer's stories, are these tensions between force and physicality and strategy and thinking, and how one can so often outweigh the other. The piece about the story that I love the most, though, is after all of this is done, Odysseus is back on his boat, back with his friends, hightailing it out of there with yet another great tale of another great adventure to share. And the Cyclops is still raging, and he just can't help himself. Right before they leave, throwing rocks that the giant rocks are being thrown, and all the people on boat saying, "Come on, Odysseus, we got to go. Let's get out of here. Enough of this already." And Odysseus he just can't help giving one last dig, and he goes back, good God, that brute can throw, say the sailors. This is around 560. And so they begged, but they could not bring my fighting spirit round. I called back with this is right, the narrator, Odysseus, but my blood was up. I could not bring my fighting spirit round. I couldn't calm myself down. So I called back with another burst of anger. Cyclops, if any man on the earth there should ask you who blinded you, shamed you so, say, Odysseus, raider of cities, he gouged out your eye. Laertes' son who makes his home in Ithaca. So there we have this proud final proclamation. I am Odysseus, raider of cities, son of Laertes, who calls sunny Ithaca home. That's who I am. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. And in this proclamation, in this Homeric, who am I? It's as if all the power, the authority, the honor, the historical import of my being is spoken out into the world, cast out in the very sound of that identifier. I am Odysseus, raider of cities, son of Laertes, who calls sunny Ithaca my home. That's that powerful formulation is what we get to play with. So to give you a taste of Homeric sonic self, your job in the discussion board is to make your own. I am your first name, and then this, what will your epithet be? What will you choose? Raider of cities, lover of ice cream, scholar of, what will that epithet could you write for yourself that describes the action to which you will be known for? Then son or daughter of whomever. And then where do you call your home? What will you tell us about the land that what you come from? And so you see in this Homeric who am I, the layering of self. There is a name, there is an action that you are claiming to be known for, there is patrimony, the lineage, your ancestors matter in the Greek world. And then last but not least, there is geography, bound, identified, claimed, and named by the land through which we come. So I've put some examples in the assignment. I'd like you to write your own, but mostly I'd like to hear it. So who am I? I am Kirk, teacher of the wild and brave, son of James, who call the leafy elm city my home. Gotta give me yours. Upload them as videos or send us the links and do the rest of the discussion board. Welcome to the wonderful world of Homeric who am I's.